Hello, welcome to La Quinta Book Fest Revisited. Since we were unable to host Book Fest 2021 here at the library, we thought we'd reconnect with previous panelists to see what they've been up to and talk about their latest projects. I spoke with Aminder Dhaliwal about her funny and insightful graphic novel Woman World, which is about a small village of women who are figuring out how to survive and thrive in a world where men have now gone extinct. We also talked about her upcoming graphic novel, Cyclopedia Exotica, which captures the lives and experiences of a Cyclops community in an amusing and thought-provoking way. So sit back, relax, and please enjoy this segment of BookFest Revisited. Okay, cool. Well, Aminder, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me. I really appreciate it.
I'm so glad to be here. It's nice that you're able to do it again this year, albeit digitally.
Yeah, definitely. So how have you been? It's been a year, but how have you been since we last saw you?
It's been a year. I've been pretty good, honestly. Like, I know there's a lot going on in the world. I've been just at home. I've been healthy. Like, I don't feel like I can really complain, but it's been hard. I haven't seen my family since 2019, and that seems like forever ago now. But that's the worst of it. If anything, it was probably a good year to have to finish my next book. Kind of get to work.
Like, well, I got nothing else to do.
Exactly. I kept seeing other people online posting like, here's my bread that I'm making. There was like a phase where everyone was making bread. And I'm just like at home, like working on my book. I want to make bread. I want to be like the rest of you.
Yeah. Well, before we talk about your new book, I just wanted to briefly reintroduce Woman World to our readers. I have 2 copies here. I love this book so much. I just reread it. And it's so funny and so relatable and approachable. You know, all the topics you cover in it. And it's just a feel-good book, especially at the very end, the little bit that little last sentence you have at the end. It's like, yeah, this is kind of where we are now. And it's just a good book to kind of reread and relax with,
I'm glad to hear that. I've been working on the Woman World pilot. We're taking it out to pitch to studios fairly soon, and it's been so nice being back in that world and also expanding it and just exploring the different ideas you can come up with within a world of just women, while making it much more narrative focused. It's been really fun.
Yeah. Can you describe it really quick for our readers?
Sure, yeah. Woman World is a post-apocalyptic utopian world where men have gone extinct due to some genetic condition, and it's just about these women who have had to thrive kind of on their own. There's been all these natural disasters and the world is rebuilding, and we follow this small village, a small group of women who and their daily lives, who are just surviving, but also dealing with their own little issues, the same issues you'd have just in our regular world, but in this brand new world of just women.
Yeah, it's so good. I need people to read it. I was having it on display everywhere. I was like, please read this. It's so funny. It pokes fun at things, but in a lighthearted way that it's not like, oh gosh, she's making fun of this or whatever. And so it's just such a good read. I really love it so much.
Thank you. That was definitely the goal, was to make feminism more accessible and drop the baggage around it, and just make it fun. And yeah, kind of just lighthearted.
Yeah. So what sparked the idea for Woman World?
Originally, it was I went to the 2017 Women's March, and I was just walking in this sea of signs that said the future is female. I had my own kind of funny sign. It was a funny sign walk. And I think somewhere in there, the idea kind of sparked, but I didn't really draw anything until a few weeks later. And there'd been all this, a couple of friends had posted pictures online of going to the march. And of course, it's the internet, so there's a lot of interesting opinions. Yeah. And I just kind of drew up this comic for my friends, and I sent it to them in a text message, which appears at the end of the book. And they were like, oh, you should post this. And I had a few other ideas for it. And so I thought, okay, I'll just post one just for my friends. And I had maybe 5 or 6 other comic ideas for a world of women. And before I knew it, it started to just people were tagging their friends, tagging their friends, tagging their friends. And then I had this big following. And yeah, I was 100 something comics later, and I was like, this would be a cool book.
And it is, and it's awesome. Oh, yes, so that's so cool. That's really neat. And yeah, it started as a webcomic on Instagram, which is there's so much like webcomic stuff. I feel like, I mean, I know it's been there, but like just I'm seeing so much of it now. And I follow you on TikTok, and
Really?
yes, I do, and I love you know, like watching your comics, your Cyclops comics, and hearing you like narrate them. It's so good.
Yeah, it's been really fun to try it out. I've been so inspired by the stuff people put up on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a, it just, you know, I'm gonna call them kids, just like, but people are just like, um, just using the app so well and like
Mm-hmm.
making so much fun stuff. And I was like, there must be a way to like get comics in here and like to get to narrate them was really fun and like, you know, add the right kind of music. And
Yeah.
I don't think I've quite cracked it yet, but I'm having a lot of fun. And after Cyclopedia, I'd love to do Woman World, but we'll see. It's quite time consuming, but
Yeah.
it's been
Oh,
really
yeah.
fun.
That's cool. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Yeah. Cyclopedia
Yes,
Exotica.
got it
Let's
right here.
see. That's awesome.
Look, so cool. Look at that edge printing.
Oh,
Woo.
yeah.
I'm
That's
so
super
excited for
neat.
that.
And that's
I'm so
the
glad we pulled.
American cover, right?
This is the this is the international cover,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Indigo specific cover for Canada for Indigo stores is
Look at
this
that.
one where it's got like the fancy foil
Mm-hmm.
and everything. It's
It's
so hard to take
beautiful.
a good picture of it because I'm always like,
The lighting, yeah.
it's always got like a picture of my hand in it as well, so as I'm
Yeah.
trying to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, this has been quite the adventure this year. And I'm really excited. I love this cover, the original cover, because it was always supposed to be that you take a glance into the eye of a
Mm-hmm.
cyclops.
I love
So I
that.
feel like it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been following the comics on Instagram, but do you want to tell our readers what that's going to be more or less about?
Yeah. So Cyclopedia Exotica follows Cyclops in a world in which there are one eyes and two eyes, and it's about like microaggressions and just the how we pick up on these small differences between people, and in this case, it being the eye count between these two groups.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of this amalgamation of like just different microaggressions I've experienced, friends have experienced, and I put it together specifically for Cyclopses. And in terms of the title, I wanted to kind of play with this idea of what it feels like to be a group of people who are what it feels like to be intellectually. So there's this encyclopedia side of it, but then what it truly feels like to be the people who experience these things
Mm-hmm.
daily. And so the book kind of starts off with a much more encyclopedic feel and then slowly switches over into comics. And that's like the more day to day, again, slice of life, a little bit like Woman World, but a little more
Mm-hmm.
of a narrative in there,
Mm-hmm.
and follows them through a small chunk of their lives, and you get to see what it's like.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It comes out next month?
Yeah, it comes out
Cool.
May 11th, I believe.
Awesome. Something like
It's
that, yeah.
been, yeah, it's been a little like, I think with just the COVID stuff, it's the dates kind of moved around a
Yeah.
little, but
What
May
is time?
11th. I mean, the fact that you said next month and I was going to be like, no, no,
It's like, oh
no.
yeah, we're in April now. Yeah, it's like writing a new month. It's like, oh, wait, what day is it again? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the year has been confusing me. I'm
Yes.
still doing the 20s.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait to get my hands on it, and I am super excited for our readers to get to it too. So,
I'm
yeah.
really proud of this one. I feel like I didn't maybe summarize it the best, but this is actually like my first time having to summarize it. This is like because my book tour stuff hasn't really started, so like
Mm.
I was like, oh, I should probably know how to like summarize my
Well,
book.
it's good practice. There you go. Cool. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. And so, what's next after this? You said you were working on pilot for Woman World, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been busy. So I actually have my next graphic novel outlined already. I'm kind of playing with the idea. Cyclopedia and Woman World were on my Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I've really enjoyed putting stuff online for free. I mean, you know, talking to a librarian. Like there's just having the ability to just like, the accessibility I always really enjoyed. But I'm doing something a little different with it, and it's almost more picture book-esque.
Okay.
So it's not as heavy on the comic side. So I'm gonna see how it translates, but I'm finishing off outlining that, and I'm really excited to start posting that
Oh,
one.
cool.
It's gonna be really
Awesome.
fun. And then Woman World, the show, we're pitching that around within this month, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
But
well,
I'm
good
really
luck.
proud of the pilot. Thank you. It's
Good.
always fun to kind of take it around and even just like introduce it to people who might like never have heard of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like nice to kind of get in there. And then otherwise, I work in animation, so that's where a lot of my time goes.
Mm-hmm.
This past year, I've worked at Sony, and I actually just ended my Sony contract yesterday. No, Wednesday. So it's been a year.
Okay. Nice. Cool. We talked about that you're on TikTok, but where else can our readers find you?
They can find me on Instagram is my go-to, although I do take a lot of social media breaks now, so I disappear quite often. But on Instagram, I'm Aminder_D, and that's kind of my name everywhere. Twitter, which I don't really use, that's my name
Me
there.
either.
And then TikTok, the same, Aminder_D. And otherwise, my website is aminderdhaliwal.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. We're going to put all those links up for people so they can easily click that under the video. Go check out her stuff, please. Let's see. Oh, one more question. What are you reading? Are you reading anything right now, or what would you recommend to readers who maybe are getting into graphic novels or just don't know where to start?
I I had never read March, so I've actually been reading those, but they've been quite heavy, so I've been very slowly getting through them. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, in 2020, I ended up rewatching, like on Netflix and stuff, a lot of shows which used to inspire me when I was younger, a lot of movies that I was really into when I was younger, which I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't seen in years.
Nice.
And I just recently ended up going to, I have right next to me a giant tote bag full of Roald Dahl books. And I
Nice.
was like, it's been so long since I've read things that I read as a kid that I
Mm-hmm.
don't even remember them.
Yeah.
So I have like all his like treasury and everything here. And I've been rereading books that I read as a kid, just to see what I loved as a kid
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of get excited in that way again. And also just to revisit books that I didn't even realize like I had missed from like certain authors and stuff. So I've been kind of delving into Roald Dahl.
That's awesome. Oh, I love Matilda. So yeah, I try to read that like every year because it's so good.
I love
Anytime.
like yeah, oh sorry,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, please go ahead.
I'm just surprised at how much I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just gonna say every time the movie is on too, I'm like, yes, we're watching this.
It was a good movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's the other one? Oh, Phantom Tollbooth. I go back to that one a lot too. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's super
I
fun.
I've been like I didn't realize how many books I had missed. Like I like rereading The Magic Finger. I didn't know about that one.
Mm.
I mean, the Pelly and Me, like that was like something like it took me, I like time traveled back to being like a 6 year old. Like it was a very interesting experience, like going through these because
Mm-hmm.
they were just so readily available in my house growing up. And then at some point, you move on and like you never just see these books again
Yeah.
until you go to like the library or bookstore or something. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of nice to just kind of be a kid again.
Yeah. Revisit that world, definitely. Mm-hmm. Well, Aminder, thank you so much for speaking with me. It was a real pleasure, and I'm super excited for your next book and for whatever's next to come for you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. It was
Yeah, of
great
course.
talking.
Hmm. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching our BookFest Revisited series. See below for links to the author's social media pages and links to our catalog if you want to request any of their titles. Want to be notified when our newest videos come out? Click or tap on the red subscribe button. Happy reading!